Gardening does not have to be complicated or time consuming. In fact, with just a few simple steps, you can grow a beautiful and bountiful garden that requires minimal effort. Today, we're going to share a few tips to keep your garden easy and enjoyable. Because don't we all want that? Hey, this is See You're Ready Gardener. So let's get some tips to go from overwhelmed to easy and better garden. All right, let's start with tip number one. Know your climate, know your zone, and how much time you have to spend in your garden. Your climate and zone will determine which plants thrive in your area. It's essential to choose the plants that are well suited for your local weather conditions. There's a reason why I don't grow a lot of citrus. I'm in zone 7, so when middle of fall, late fall comes, I have to bring plants in that are not acclimated to my zone. For me, that's overwhelming because I don't have the space to place them all in the garage or somehow place them in the house. And then there's stuff that I need to do before placing them in the house. For me, keeping it easy is just growing what works in my zone. Another important factor is knowing how much time you have to spend on your garden each week. If you're short on time, consider plants that require less maintenance. So knowing your zone and time availability helps you make the right plant choices. So this is why I like to go to tip 2, know your plants. I like perennial plants because they come back year after year. I have minimal work to do. A lot of these perennials just do so well. Also choose leafy greens. So leafy greens are really great, like chard, kale, or even your onions, your garlic. They're just so easy that it doesn't really require much because once you have the soil and the amendments and you plant it according to guidelines for that plant, it's pretty much a no-brainer at that point. So these plants are low maintenance and they thrive with minimal effort. And what I also like about leafy greens is that they grow quickly and they require little care, and you can harvest them throughout the season. Look for varieties that are well suited to your climate and easy to grow. By focusing on low maintenance plants, you'll spend less time tending and more time enjoying your garden. And hey, even looking to expand, because honestly, it could get kind of boring with greens and perennials because you're just like, okay, I've got all these perennials. And if you're looking for more action, that's when you can expand your garden to those things that maybe require more attention. So here's the next tip. Before you even plant a seed, take a moment to plan your garden layout. Knowing where to plant each plant helps you avoid overcrowding and ensures that they get the right amount of sunlight, water, and space to grow. Whether you're doing indoors or outdoors, make layout a plan of your indoor space or your outdoor space. Know where the sun is. Know which plants need the most sun. One thing I like to do is, for example, berry bushes. I like to place those close to my back door. That way I can kind of monitor them and harvest very easily. But trees like cypress and the elm tree are further away. So I don't really have to monitor an elm or a cypress, but the berry bushes, I do have to monitor those a little more. And it makes it easy when I can just step out the door and they're right there and I can just make sure, check for pests, check for any signs of disease or anything of that nature and see if I need to tend to it in any way. And even then, it's really not an everyday thing unless it's extremely hot. They just require a little bit more watering. Always remember that planning is so important because you want to consider grouping plants with similar needs together and keeping the layout simple. You don't need to overcomplicate things. Just a basic plan saves you time and effort in the long run. And then if you need to adjust or change things, you can refer to your original plan and adjust as needed. It really does help out a lot. So it saves you time from removing, trying to refigure out things. Just a little time and effort upfront planning saves so much time. And honestly, this is probably where a majority of your time will be, just with planning and making sure that you have the supplies you need. Next, we're going to enjoy the process. Remember, gardening is meant to be enjoyable. By following these easy tips, you can create a garden that's not only beautiful, but also simple to care for. So let's get outside and get our hands dirty, or maybe inside and getting our hands dirty, and enjoy the peaceful process of gardening. It's easier than you think.
Where I have created a course that will help you start, maintain, and even revive a dead garden. We're offering a crazy deal right now, and it won't last long. Go ahead and click the link in the description and start your garden success today.
Thanks for watching and happy gardening.